I was just looking up online a code p0a0f-204, and I bumped into this video about p3190, I believe, poor engine power, engine won't start, and guy is saying that you can order online the fuel pressure gauge and stuff. There is no fuel pressure gauge for this Priuses. If somebody knows it, please do let me know, because I work on these Priuses. I have a handmade, which are made of parts they are cut off some cars. But listen, how many people gonna really start measuring the fuel pressure? I doubt that many, because you're not gonna find that measuring gauge for this to be able to plug into this fuel line. But okay, this is a third generation, 10 through 15. Also applies through Prius V, 12 through 17. Okay, that has 1.8 engine, not the good engines. But so here's a fuel pump for a fuel line, okay, coming in. So don't use anything, because I've done it many times. Damage this. Squeeze this by fingers, okay, this yellow on both sides, here and here, and just pull it up, okay? So it will sit like this. You squeeze it and just wiggle it, okay, and it will come out. Okay, put it back in. It's the same way, okay, and make sure you hear the click. Now there's no measuring the fuel, there's no gauge to measure this fuel, but the pressure, I mean. So what you can do is, so I'm saying something not smart, but okay, so this is a line that comes from the fuel pump, okay. This is a line that kind of curves around and is connected right here, okay. Then one, you need a special disconnect tool, which is like a 10-cent plastic piece, but it's gonna cost you like probably $20 at the store. Better off ordering online, or in my case, it's a little bit different. I have a different fuel line, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go grab one real quick. Prius engines, of course, not the best ones, 1.8 ones. I like the older models, 1.5s. Well, I do work on Priuses, so let me find one. I should have a fuel line available somewhere. I mean that thing. Maybe not, huh? Okay, maybe not. So, okay, that sucks. Well, this is what it looks like from behind the engine. You take this black thing off, and you put the tool behind it and kind of push it forward into it, and it disconnects it, okay? And then I'm trying to find the fuel line, and this sucks. I do not have one. All of them have it taken out. So here, I'm gonna introduce you guys with my homemade fuel pressure gauge that fits on Prius. So this is a line that connects to the, this is a hose that connects to the line coming to the, under the hood from the gas tank. Then there's supposed to be a different thing. I have this cut off. So if you ignore this metal piece, it comes, and ignore this hose. It's like this, okay? And pressure gauge. That's, if somebody wants to do that, this gauge you can buy online on Amazon, like $15-20. This thing, I'm not sure where I got it from. So that's the one that comes from the gas tank, I mean the fuel tank, and that's the one that connects to this end, but it's supposed to be going to the fuel rail, but this is like, you know, modification. So what I'm gonna do is, this is what it looks like, okay? So we got the disconnected, right? We got the disconnected that goes to the fuel rail to the injectors. So we're gonna connect this, missing it, to this end, okay? So then I'm gonna plug this into this end. So what we have is pretty much going in here. It's still going to the fuel rail, but in the middle there's a fuel gauge, pressure gauge, I mean, a fuel gauge. So I'm gonna crank this, and I don't think I'm getting any fuel on it. So let's see what happens, okay? So you guys got the idea. I'm gonna get a better picture of this later, so if you guys wanna make it home, or if the one exists online, please do let me know, because I would not mind getting one or two. So let's see what happens is, turn this light off. So it says check hybrid system now, which sucks, but it's all right. I got a bad battery in it. So goes in ready, cranks. This didn't start, by the way, so you know this car is not running right now. It's just the electric motor inside the transmission, transaxle, whatever, is spinning, which was supposed to spin the engine, and after the fuel gets opened up by a computer, it's supposed to fire up. So in this case, as you see, there's no fuel. Also, what you can do is, after you crank a few times, so you guys figured out it's under the hood, okay? You gotta remove all this good stuff. So what you can do is just to even check if you have a pressure, okay? Let's say this was like you cranked a few times, it didn't start, okay? When you disconnect this, okay, you're supposed to get fuel spill, okay? You should have fuel coming out of here and out of there. This one has zero, like nada, nothing at all. So in this case, you don't even need, just kind of, you know, after I watched that video, the guy was talking about how he solved the code, and it's not the mass airflow sensor, and it's not this, and it's not that. It is not true. If my knee hurts and your knee hurts, doesn't mean there's the same reason why our knees are hurting, and there is no possible way that there's the same cure to it, okay? I might twist my knee, and you might be just, I don't know, have a bad knee, broken. There's no, you cannot fix both knees the same way, because it's just a knee hurting, okay? Now, airflow sensor, I have it disconnected. So when you disconnect this, it will still start. It should start, okay? But it might run like with a misfire, like do. But at least it will start. But when you connect these, like I had the case earlier with the white one right there on the left, car wouldn't start, and after disconnected it, it starts. But after I replaced it, I connected, it still won't start. So it ended up being this cable, like you see, some people are not gentle with it. It's actually broken right here, okay? Some might be fixed or might not, and a couple of wires were damaged in there. Okay, it doesn't take much, they're thin. So first, if your car doesn't start, disconnect this, okay? It's a mass airflow sensor. Once you disconnect that, if it doesn't start, you first thing to do is eliminate that this thing is good or bad. So disconnect that. If it won't start, then you move farther, okay? But fuel line, fuel pressure, you should be getting something here, okay? But this is like, you see, it's a rubber glove, and you saw, guys, I cranked it, and there is nothing. Completely dry. Even the owner told me that he replaced the fuel pump and lots of other things. So the reason why it's in my shop is to figure out why is it in my shop. So Hold on one second, let me plug this back in, and I'm gonna show you guys my invention, which, put it this way, very rarely you might need, because I deal with a lot of these cars. Only work on Priuses mainly, 99%. But I'll tell you one thing: if your fuel pump is bad, it's bad. Meaning you're not gonna get anything out of there, or when you open it, you're not gonna have a pressure. You're just gonna, some fuel's gonna drip out of it. Okay, but when you crank a few times and you pull that plug, that hose disconnected, you will kind of like, you're not gonna, spray feet away, but it's gonna spray a little bit. It's noticeable. They will tell you that if there is a pressure or not. If you have a pressure, it should start. Okay, it does require, like, I think it's like 50 or 48 psi's or something, but even if you're getting lower psi, it should start, because this is Prius. This Prius will start no matter what. So this pressure gauge, some people, measure it, and you can buy online, and I posted them like, how did you measure yours? Very interesting shit. You can tell people to measure it, but you don't tell them how, because he could have measured it himself, because obviously he doesn't have shit anything that he can measure it with. Sorry for my language, but you guys get it, right? So it's kind of like a plug-in in between. Simple. Okay. There we go. Okay. So that's my kind of answer of the not the smartest post online I just on YouTube that I just watched. I don't like it. Kind of like, my knee hurts. Oh, your knee hurts? I did this. Put a band-aid on it and it'd be alright, because my knee healed that way. Like, come on, man. Like, you are talking about Prius. You're not talking about some, like, bicycle with two, like, 1.5 wheels shit. Okay. So I got no fuel pressure here, and that's it. So if you guys were wondering with that. Now also, there's a high possibility when engine doesn't start, and I've seen it many times actually on the engines that were replaced by mechanics, and then cannot get the engine started. Instead of replacing this, replacing that, let me see if I get a better view. Okay, so you guys have seen this area, I'm assuming. He takes this box out, okay, and you got some vacuum hoses like that one. There's a one over there also. Let me just see if I can see it. It's actually like, it's just like back there. It's about same thickness as that one, okay? Those are vacuum lines. You disconnect that, car's not gonna start. So if your car's not starting, start with the simple ones, okay? Do not spend money on replacing this or replacing that, or ordering a fuel gauge, which is gonna arrive in a week, if there is one, of course, again. Okay, so I hope you liked the video, because it was kind of I was not happy with what I watched. I was not trying to watch it, but I didn't like it. So I showed you how to manually just, you gotta take that out, kind of squeeze those yellow pins, whatever they are on the side, lift the hose up, like wiggle it. Don't jerk it though, okay? Don't break it. Wiggle it, and if you have a fuel kind of spill, that means there is a fuel coming, but not enough pressure, maybe possible. But if when you disconnect it and you hear it's like gonna spill out, and you're gonna smell it, of course, then you have a fuel. But what I did with that car, I got no fuel, so there is no fuel. Meaning, they only replaced the fuel pump, and I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm gonna have to dig in there tomorrow. Okay, that's for now. I hope you liked it. And by the way, this is Ohio Hybrid Systems. Ohio. We're in Ohio because Ohio is the best state in the world, in the country at least. Okay. If you have any questions, look us up on Facebook also, Ohio Hybrid Systems, on our Google, Ohio Hybrid Systems. Name will say that we are in Ohio, located in Columbus, Ohio, and Cincinnati, Ohio, and a couple other cities around Ohio. So if you have any questions, please message us. So Ohio Hybrid Systems, okay? And if you have any questions, let us know. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video, which I kind of recorded because I got angry for watching somebody else's video on YouTube that was not too good. All right? Let us know if you have any questions. We don't mind answering. Bye.